Am I the a-hole for despising my mentally handicapped sister? The title makes me sound horrible, but hear me out. My sister is severely autistic. She requires attention almost 24/7 and cannot be left alone. She is nonverbal and cannot take care of herself at all. Despite the fact that she is only 12, she is extremely destructive and violent and destroys anything she gets her hands on. I hate her. That should be wrong to say, but it doesn't feel like it. I was only 6 years old when she was born, and since then, I've never solely had my parents' attention. Even since, I can remember the world has revolved around her. I was moved out of my room into the basement at 7 because she needed to be in the room next to my parents. All of my toys as a child were destroyed by her, and my parents simply ignored me when I complained. Even when I was 14, and she destroyed a Mac my school gave me, I was in the wrong. Along with this, I am expected to take care of her and drop everything I do for her. I can never make plans with friends because my parents expect me to be there if they need me to take care of her. Even when I do somehow get time to myself, I am required to leave it if they need me. If I do not, then I'm punished. The recent example of this is when I went to see the new Spider-Man movie and was grounded because I turned my phone off in the theater. It seems as if I am nothing more than a slave to them, and anything involving her simply overshadows me. This last week, I was chosen to give a speech at a school event. I was so excited and my parents promised to be there, but they never showed up and claimed it was because of my sister. Anytime anything like this happens for me, they are too busy with her. I've held this in for so long, and it finally spilled out today. While talking about colleges with my father, he joked that I should get a degree that pays well, so when they're gone, I can take care of my sister. I don't know why, but this caused me to break down. I cried and screamed about how it is always about her. I'm nothing more than a caretaker to them. That they always make it about her, and that I'm expected to be her slave for the rest of my life. I've locked myself in my room since then, and my parents have not come to check on me. Am I the asshole here? Not the a-hole. These are perfectly legitimate and understandable feelings. You have done nothing wrong. You have done nothing to sign up for taking care of another human being. It's not like she's your kid. And that was wrong of your dad to joke about, because it sounds like he probably is really thinking along those lines. Be honest with your parents about how you feel. Make clear that it's insane that you're expected to be a full-time babysitter. Grounded for no phone in a theater? That's fucking bullshit. Not the asshole. Kid, I hope you go to college far away from home. Later in life, make sure your parents understand that you won't be taking responsibility, so they better have care and funding in place. Not the asshole, but this is a parent problem, not a sister problem. I am a parent of one autistic child and a neurotypical child, and I will tell you that we would never treat our neurotypical child like his role is to take care of his sister. If she ruins his stuff, we replace it. We have also given him some separate space with a lock so that we can prevent her getting into his stuff. Now, if he leaves it out, that's another story, but we try our best. Are there ways in which having a sister with a disability still might suck for him? Of course. We're a family, and what impacts one tends to impact us all. But we try to mitigate that, and at least sympathize when we can't. We also make sure that he benefits in whatever ways he can, like the fact that he has never had to wait in a long line at the amusement park because of her skip the line pass. It sounds like your parents haven't done any of this, and have in fact made everything worse for you. That is not your sister's fault. She can't help who she is, and at only 12, she's still learning and growing, and you may still have a great relationship once you're both adults. Your parents, on the other hand, should have done better by you. The brunt of your anger belongs on them. Not the asshole. I'm going to tell you something that I hope you will think about, and I will gladly take any downvotes. Your sister will always come first, and you will always be expected to be the caretaker. You will need to break free of this as soon as you can. Move to another state or country after college. For as long as you will be in their house, it will be their rules, and they will continue forcing the caretaking down your throat. You are not her caretaker. They are, and they need to be solemnly responsible for her care so you can work on your life while you are young. Life comes at you fast. You only have around 85 to 90 summers on average. I understand where you're coming from though, because whenever your sister did something bad, it got blamed on her autism as a get out of trouble free card. She can't help it. She has autism. She doesn't know what she's doing. She has autism. You need to watch your stuff so she doesn't get to it because she has autism. While it is their absolute lack of responsibility, discipline, and routine that allowed this behavior. Am I the a-hole for giving my ex-wife a large amount of money I won, despite the anger of my girlfriend? I recently won a fuck you amount of money. I won't say exactly how much, but it's in the millions. It makes me feel funny even typing. It's enough to change the life of myself and my family. My ex-wife is the mother of my 2 kids. She's an amazing woman and good to the bone. We divorced 5 years ago because I had an affair with my current partner. I was in a low place in my life and I fucked up. She was in incredible pain, but like a fucking saint, she allowed me to still see our kids, who mean the world to me. Allowed our divorce to be as pain-free as possible, despite the fact that I know she was hurting. She still is close with my parents. She is respectful to me, although she refuses to talk to my girlfriend. She was actually the first person I phoned after my mom and pops after I found out I won the lottery. She was pleased for me. Joked that I could take the kids on a world-round trip, and that was that. Nothing else. As soon as I won, I knew I wanted to give her a significant amount. I still love her. She's the mother of my babies, and I feel like this is some small tiny way I can show her that I'm not a complete fuck up. She deserves to know that I care, despite my mistakes. She also works a shitty job in the public library, which pays her peanuts. She would actually be able to pursue her hobbies this way. Give our kids a better life between us. I haven't discussed this with my ex yet, but I have with my parents who strongly agree, and my lawyer who was very surprised, but on board. Long story short, when I told my girlfriend, she was livid. Screaming that I'm disrespecting her, accusing me of still being in love with my ex-wife. I'm not in love with her. We've both grown apart. But of course, I still love her for being an excellent co-parenting partner and mother to my kids. My girlfriend is threatening to break up with me, and to be honest, I'm feeling incredibly relieved over the threats. I don't plan on changing my plans, but am I the asshole? Not the asshole. At the end of the day, you still shared a lot with your ex-wife, and that probably intimidates your girlfriend. In my eyes, the girlfriend is being extremely childish in this situation, and the fact that you're feeling relieved about her threats says a lot about you too. Perhaps it's time to reevaluate your relationship and just focus on giving your kids the best lives possible now that you've got the means to do so. Not the asshole. The fact that you called her first means you still hold her dear in your heart, and the maturity she showed after you destroyed her makes me understand why. Give her the money you were planning to give. Give her double even. But your girlfriend is a witch if she can't understand that you have kids that deserve to partake of their father's wealth. Also, the fact you haven't married your girlfriend after 6 years together shows how you feel about her. Break up with her and enjoy your money with your real family. Not the asshole. I raised an eyebrow when you said you still love your ex-wife, but your explanation of your feelings made complete sense to me. Clearly it's not anything romantic. Is it so strange that you want to give money to the mother of your children, who, from the sound of it, is taking care of them most of the time? I think your girlfriend is being irrational and entitled, especially considering that it's your money, not yours and hers. You can do whatever you want with it. Your ex-wife sounds like a saint for how well she dealt with the fallout of your marriage. She deserves the money. Congratulations on the win, OP. Not the asshole, but what I will say is that I think your current girlfriend is in an unenviable position. While she's wrong to resent you giving money to the mother of your children, the way you talk does sound like you're still in love with your ex-wife, and that you consider cheating with your current girlfriend as the biggest mistake of your life. Just by the way you write, it sounds like you, rightly, accept that what you did was wrong, but also that you believed you would have been happier if you'd never met your girlfriend. If I've picked up on this, and I'm assuming I'm not a million miles off the mark, it's reasonable to assume your girlfriend has too, which may explain her reaction. You were wrong to string her along for this long, especially as you now seem to feel happy she's talking about it ending. You should have broken up with her a long time ago, it seems. Am I the asshole for not allowing my best friend to crash at my house after his wife died? My best friend Jake's wife died about a month ago in a car crash, and he's handling it terribly. He's a complete mess, and while we all try to be there for him, he's become very depressed and spends his time either drinking or sleeping. They had a little girl who's 3 years old, and while he's not neglecting her, I can tell he's barely holding himself together as it is. A few days ago, Jake told me he can't stand being in the house anymore because it makes him remember his wife, but that he'd force himself to take a few sleeping pills to sleep. Cut to yesterday at 1 a.m., my wife and I were waken up by someone banging at our door. I opened it to see Jake and his daughter at my door, and he asked if he can sleep here for the night because he can't handle being in his house anymore. I tell him she can stay, but he can't because he has to get over it eventually. He gives me the dirtiest glare I've ever seen and leaves without saying anything. Today, I found out that Jake went back to his house, put his daughter to sleep, then went and slept on the streets. When my wife found out, she called me a massive asshole, but I don't think I was. My intention wasn't to kick him out on the streets, it was to help him get over his wife's death. Am I the asshole? Yes, you're the asshole, because he honestly sounds like he should be on suicide watch. He's not going to just get over it after 1 month. Can you help him find a new apartment? Yes, the asshole. Massively. I'm having trouble believing that this isn't a shitpost. You think someone should be over their wife's death in a month? That kind of loss isn't something you ever get over completely. Not only was she his wife, she was his partner in life, his co-parent, and now he has to adapt to running his household and raising his daughter on his own. And instead of helping, you turned him away? Wow. This is how you treat someone who is apparently your best friend? I wouldn't even say what you did to someone I didn't like. How would you feel if you were in his situation and this was his reaction? You should apologize, but honestly, that might not be enough. You're the asshole. Dude, your friend obviously needs some help, and for you to say his daughter can stay but not him must have felt like a massive slap in the face, especially after just losing who he probably cared for the most in the world. If you value him at all, you need to apologize and make the situation right. He turned to you in his time of need and you essentially threw him out onto the streets. Yes, the asshole. Instead of suggesting your buddy get help, you emasculated him in front of his daughter. Your attitude is the equivalent of man up. His wife died a month ago. I can almost guarantee that he is just now starting to process. I really hope you never have to grieve and rely on the support of your friends to get you through rough patches. You're the asshole. Your friend is probably going through the worst time of his life and you turn him away? You should apologize. Reach out and see if you can help him find a grief support group or anything that will help ease his pain.